What I am about to tell you is absolutely true. Some of you standing here are going to see the power of Yahweh's kingdom before you die, here and now, in this life.
Sure enough, 6 days later, Yeshua led Peter, James, and John up into a high mountain, where they sat away from him by themselves and just watched as he was changed in front of them. His robe began to shine. It was as white as snow, whiter than any wool on earth. Then Elijah and Moses appeared, and the disciples saw them talking with Yeshua.
Lord, thank you so much for letting us see us. What if we was to make 3 tents here, one for each of you?
Peter was talking nonsense, of course, trying to cover up for the fear that he was experiencing. But a cloud moved over the whole scene, and a voice came out of it.
This is my son, whom I love. Listen to him.
And just like that, Elijah and Moses disappeared. All the disciples could see after that was Yeshua alone. As they came down the mountain,
You really do have to keep this secret, what you just saw up there, until after I have risen from the dead.
for once, someone did do as Yeshua asked, even though they still could not make sense of his reference to rising from the dead. But they did ask more questions in order to gain a better understanding of the order of events.
The religious leaders say Elijah was supposed to come first, before you.
Well, he did, but as predicted, they did to him what they did.
When they reached the other disciples at the base of the mountain, there was a big crowd with them, and some religious leaders were questioning the disciples. When the people saw Yeshua and the other 3 coming, they became quite excited and ran to greet them. Yeshua questioned the religious leaders.
So what are you up to? Why are you questioning my friends?
I can explain, Master. You see, my son has a bad spirit, which has made him unable to speak. Worse than that, it causes him to have fits, foaming at the mouth and grinding his teeth until he just goes limp. I asked your disciples to cure him, but they couldn't.
Oh my goodness, how long is it going to take for you guys to get this straight? Where is your faith? Bring the boy to me.
So they brought the young man to him, and when he saw Yeshua, he immediately started fitting again, falling on the ground and foaming at the mouth.
So tell me, how long has he had this problem?
He's had it since he was a young child. Often he's fallen into the fire or into water as it tries to destroy him. If you can do anything, please do it. Please take pity on me.
It's all about believing Yahweh. When you have faith in Him, anything is possible.
The boy's father started crying in great desperation as his son was showing no signs of being healed.
I believe, but I don't know what to believe. Please, help me to have real faith.
When Yeshua saw that more people were coming, he shouted at the bad spirit.
That's enough, you deaf and dumb spirit. Come out of him and never return again.
Even then, the man continued to thrash around for a little while before the bad spirit left him. And then the young man looked like he was dead. Many of the people thought he really was. But Yeshua took him by the hand and helped him as the young man stood to his feet. When they were back in the house, the disciples asked Yeshua privately,
Why wasn't we able to cast the bad spirit out?
Well, sometimes it just takes a lot more prayer and fasting than other times.
From there, they traveled around Galilee for quite a while, trying all the time to keep their whereabouts secret. During this period, Yeshua taught his disciples more about what to expect when they returned to Jerusalem.
I'm going to be handed over to my enemies, and they will kill me. But on the 3rd day after they kill me, I will come back to life.
Unfortunately, they were all in denial, not able to take it all in. They were afraid to ask further too, for fear of what he might say. Another time, there was an argument between some of the disciples when they were walking back to Capernaum. So, when they were back in the house, Yeshua asked,
What was it that you were arguing about out there on the road?
No one wanted to answer because they had been arguing about which one of them was the greatest. So he made sure that all 12 of them were together before saying more.
I want to explain something. If you want to impress me, you will do it by showing how humbly you can serve the others.
There was a baby there at the time, so Yeshua picked the baby up in his arms and brought it over to where the others were.
Anyone who receives a child like this one on my behalf receives me. And anyone who receives me receives the one who sent me.
Then John changed the subject.
Teacher, we saw someone casting out bad spirits, and he said he was a follower of you. But we never met him before, so we told him to stop.
Oh, you should not have done that. If he really was doing a miracle, and if he wanted to give me credit for it, the chances are that he is a friend and not an enemy. Anyone who does not oppose what I teach must be our friend. If people so much as give you a cup of water because you are teaching what I teach, they will be rewarded for it. But anyone who opposes you because of your faith in me, I say it would be better for them to have a grinding stone hanged around their neck and be dropped into the ocean. If your own hand gets in the way of you serving me, I say cut it off. It is better to go through life without a hand than to be tormented in hell, where the fire never ceases and where worms eat your flesh forever. If your foot is what stops you from serving me, then cut that off too. It is better to limp through life with one foot than to be thrown into the fires of hell, which never go out, where the worms never die. Finally, if it is your eye that causes you to sin, poke it out. It is better to enter Yahweh's kingdom with one eye than to finish up in hell, where the worms never die and where the fire never goes out. One way or another, you need to be purified. It may be with salt now, or it could be with fire later. Has someone robbed you of the salt that you need to hear now? You'd better get it back, and then work at making peace with other people.